Country you go, kitchen you find. There are dishes that for some are normal, while for others, they make their stomachs spin. We see 5 of the most disgusting foods in the world, not only in the choice of ingredients, but also in the preparation. Enjoy your meal. Hakkarl is a typical dish of Icelandic cuisine, based on fermented shark. This is in particular the Greenlandic shark, which can reach up to 7 meters in length, and lives in the very cold Arctic waters, or in the Atlantic Ocean. Its flesh is poisonous, due to the presence of a toxin, the trimethylamine oxide, and has a high content of urea in the blood. This is because the shark does not have a urinary system, like mammals, so they do not have the kidneys to remove uric acid from the body. In order to be able to consume its meat, it must be fermented. During this process, the uric acid is destroyed, and largely converted into ammonia. The pulp softens, and takes on a more gelatinous consistency. How does the preparation take place? Just caught the shark is beheaded, and gutted. The meat is washed, and placed in a pit dug in the sand, preferably in loose gravel or lava sand. The pit is then closed, and covered with heavy stones, in order to press the meat. In this way, the fluids are better released by the shark, and the actual fermentation process is shortened. It is thus left for about 6 or 7 weeks, in the summer, and 2 or 3 months, in the winter. At the end of the months, it is unearthed, and the drying period begins. The shark is then cut into pieces, and hung to dry in a wooden dryer. Hot, windy, dry weather will speed up the process, while cold, wet weather will delay it. When the fermentation is over, the meat is soft, and smells of ammonia. At this point, the hakkarl is ready to be served, cut into cubes, and is traditionally accompanied with a glass filled with brennivin, the Icelandic brandy, in order to keep the strong smell of ammonia. Many Icelanders find this dish a delicacy, others disgusting. Those who have had the courage to taste it compare it to a cheese with an intense smell and taste like gorgonzola. The city of Skuon, in Cambodia, is a real nightmare for arachnophobics. It is so infested with spiders that citizens adapted and started consuming them in the 1970s. It is no coincidence that the city is known as Spider Town or Spiderville. It is unclear how this practice began, but some have suggested that the population may have started eating spiders out of desperation during the years of Khmer Rouge rule, when food was scarce. To date, however, due to deforestation and excessive collection of spiders, they are disappearing more and more. The locals use a fiery stick to force the spiders out of their nests, and thus catch them. But how is this dish prepared? The spiders, usually tarantulas, are breaded in a mixture of sugar, salt, and fried in boiling oil for no more than 45 seconds. They have no blood, and it's like frying shrimp or lobster, says those who prepare them. Then, they are served with some fresh local herbs on a bed of rice or spaghetti. The flavor of these creatures has been described as a cross between cod and chicken. The outside becomes crunchy, while the center remains rather soft. Some people prefer not to eat the abdomen, which contains a mixture of eggs, organs, and excrement. Bat soup is consumed in many countries in Southeast Asia and Oceania, mainly in Indonesia, northern Sulawesi, and the island nation of Palau. Panishi is the name of the typical dish from North Sulawesi, and is based on fruit bat, and is typically accompanied with white rice. The bats are cooked in a pot, with water brought to the boil. Then, some soy sauce and coconut milk are added, in order to obtain a more liquid broth. Everything is then served with a sprinkling of chopped green onions. Bat meat can be fried on the grill, or sautéed, and then dressed with curry. Bats may emit strong odors, reminiscent of urine, when cooking. This can be reduced by adding garlic, onion, chili, or beer during cooking. In fish markets or Japanese food stores, you will often find strange packages watching you. They are the eyes of tuna, a dish much loved by the Japanese since the 1990s, due to their high concentration of omega-3. Japanese chefs cook the eyeballs and eat them as an appetizer or bar snack. The eyes are boiled in salted water for some time, and then served with the soy sauce. Once cooked, the sclera is usually too rubbery to eat, but the inner contents of the eye become soft and can be easily sucked in like bone marrow. The eyeballs are rather bland, so much so that most tasters compare them to squid or hard-boiled eggs. Snake wine. Snake wine is an alcoholic beverage made by inserting whole snakes into an alcohol infusion. Snakes and their viscera have long been regarded by followers of traditional Chinese medicine as invaluable for promoting vitality and health in traditional Chinese medicine. Distilling the essence of a snake in wine is said to cure everything from rheumatism to hair loss. The drink is also widely advertised as an aphrodisiac, which increases manhood. Although venomous snakes are considered to be particularly powerful, the venom is denatured by the ethanol in the wine, at least so they say. Snake wine is a liqueur that is prepared by placing a whole snake, sometimes still alive, inside a wine jar. Often herbs and spices are also added, such as ginseng, but also snakes, scorpions, or smaller geckos. The whole is then left to infuse for several months. If the animal is not drowned properly, thanks to its ability to hibernate, it can remain alive and dormant in wine for months, ready to jump out and attack an unsuspecting drinker. This is very rare, but it happened to a woman in 2013 in a Chinese province. In other cases, the live snake is killed on the spot, and its blood and bile are then mixed with alcohol, which is consumed immediately by the client, in the form of a shock. Street vendors have been known to grab a snake along its belly and drain its blood into a glass in front of you. These were just 5 of the most disgusting foods in the world.